Oh man, we are about to go over this list. What list am I talking about? You say, okay, it's not the YouTube rapper tier list. We're not going over that. We are going over the list from the GOAT himself, who replied to Shaq on Twitter. So thanks to Shaq, we got this list. He DM'd Eminem. Eminem responded to him with his greatest rappers of all time list. I swear to God, if I ever get a DM or a reply from Eminem on Twitter, I might legit die. That could actually happen. So let's let's like hope he never replies, because I like breathing. You know what I'm saying? So we are going to go over this list, and then when we go over this list, I'm going to give you mine. We're going to go 20 deep up in here. I've only ever given you like my top 5. That's as far as I've ever went. We're going to go 20 deep up in here, man, because and I also want to know what yours is. You don't have to go 20. You don't have to go 20 deep. But I want to know, give me top 5, top 10, whatever you want, all time. Back then and now, mix them up, because that's what I did. I mixed them up. I'm a fan of old school, so I really kind of lean heavy on old school rap. But there are quite a few these days that I'm rocking with. So we're gonna go over this list, and thanks to Shaq, we got this list. And then we're gonna go over my list. So Shaq DM Eminem, got a reply. The first reply was, "It's a toss up between Wayne, Pac, Royce, Jay-Z, Redman, Tretch, Cool G Rap, Biggie, and King Crook." And then for good measure, he threw out another tweet to him. LL, Nas, Joyner, Kendrick, Cole, Andre 3000, Rakim, and Big Daddy Kane. Showing some love to the new school dudes, to the new school dudes. Showing some love to them, man. And that it's a little different list. Till I collapsed from '02, he put out the list. It was like maybe 7 or 8 deep. He left off a couple on this list that were in that previous list of Jadakiss and Corrupt, I think, was the other one. They were on the. If you never heard Till I Collapse, he put out his list. He put that list out back then, and Jadakiss and Corrupt were on that list back then. But he kind, I mean, maybe he. This is probably some off the top of the dome type of shit. Didn't really like sit down and think about it. But that is the list he gave Shaq. It is a list. It's a hell of a list. You can't argue with anything on that list. Yeah, we all know greatest rapper of live list or greatest rapper of all time list. Who you think that is it's who you like. So I'm going to give you my top 20, man. Let me pull up my list. This is some quick off the top of the dome type of shit too. I ain't really put too much thought into it. But we are going to go over my list. And I also want to know what's on yours, man. You don't have to go 20 deep like I'm about to. We're about to go 20 deep up in here, man. I've only ever given you my top 5. Like I said, my top 5 always was Eminem. He's the GOAT. Royce, Big L, Biggie, and Nas. They were always my top 5, man. Always my top 5. Let's go a little further. Pac, Jay-Z. Like I said, I'm throwing in some new school guys now. NF, Redman, Lil Wayne, Lloyd Banks, Joyner, Kendrick, Cole, some new school guys. Then we got Andre 3000, Jadakiss, Big Pun, Rakim, Prodigy, and Havoc. I was always a fan of Mobb Deep. That's my list, man. That is my top 20. Now, what is your list? You don't have to go 20. Like I said, just give me 5. Give me whatever. Give me your favorite. Now, my list is kind of, it's in no particular order except for my top 5 and my top 1. It's always Eminem. He's the GOAT to me. And my top 5 is my top 5. 6 through 20 is kind of, you know what I mean? And I left out a couple. Like I said, it was off the top of my head type of thing. LL wasn't in there. Corrupt wasn't, ones like that. But yeah, that is my top 20, man. Give me yours. And look, it's hip hop. It's rap. There's no right or wrong answer when you talk about the greatest rappers of all time list because it's yours. It's your greatest rappers of all time list. You can't just be crazy and just list your top 20 though and just not have at least a majority of these guys in there though. For real, you might leave out a couple if you're going off to the top of your dome right quick. And it's a shame too because there's a lot of the new school guys that I rock with these days. And if I would have put this list out a few years ago, maybe Logic would have been on there. But he has severely slipped in my eyes, and to the point where he's not even in my top 20. I don't even really bump any of his older stuff. Is the stuff I listen to. He has completely slipped to the point where I can't put him in my top 20, which kind of sucks, man, because I used to rock with Logic. And if I'm talking about new school guys these days, how he could get in is if I ranked my rappers out right now and left off the old school guys, then he'd probably slide in there. But if I'm mixing them up, if I'm going old school and new school, Logic doesn't make the cut to me anymore. Maybe a few years ago he would have, but not anymore. But look, that is the GOATS list. This is my list, my 20. I really want to know what yours is. I didn't put too much crazy thought into it. It was kind of just, off the top, and I just started I just started coming up with names that I've always rocked with, even back then and now. So yeah, thanks to Shaq for even we wouldn't have this list right now if Shaq didn't start DMing people. I think he DM'd a bunch of rappers and got the response from him, which is crazy to even think about, man. Like I said, getting a reply from the greatest rapper ever is it's some shit. It really is. So thanks to Shaq, because if not for him, we wouldn't have the list. But we got the list. It's a little different from his '02 list. But I'm going to leave this thing right here. I've been rambling long enough. Let me know what your list is. Put it down there. Other than that, I'm out.